What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we will be taking a look at what I can really only describe as yet another clout chaser. Now this one got so bad that it actually kind of blew up on Twitter, it blew up on TikTok, and apparently it has resulted in somebody deleting their TikTok account. So I think this one's going to be pretty special here today. I think that this was honestly a simping situation mixed with some clout chasing, so I'm not really sure how to really go about this one except for to put on the hazmat suit. I don't really know. All I know is that this guy decided to make a TikTok based on James Charles. So to give you guys a little bit of backstory here, apparently he made some sort of like TikTok or something, and then James Charles DM'd him, and he tried to make a big deal out of it. But there's a little bit more to this entire thing here that I think we need to discuss. And realistically, I think this might just be TikTok's fault here because, you know, I don't think this realistically would have happened if it wasn't for TikTok itself. I mean, I blame TikTok in this entire situation. Like, every single time I ever see anything about TikTok, like I see some sort of video or something, it's either something extremely cringy being shown, or it's pretty much just small children. I guess to categorize this one, it's a little bit in between because, well, you'll see here in a second. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and take a look at what Optimus is talking about here. Alright, so I had to mute the original audio on this one because for some reason people on TikTok just only love using copyrighted music. Like, there's no other music on the entire website, it seems like. Any other time that I see a video, if there's music being played, it's always copyrighted music. Why aren't these companies over here copyrighting all these goddamn people? Why is it always the YouTubers who are getting sniped? These guys are over here playing your music too. I'm snitching on everybody on TikTok. Well, regardless, apparently this guy decided he was going to duet a James Charles TikTok as a joke. So this is where everything really starts. I think this is where everything really, I guess, breaks down, because apparently this was just some big meme. This whole thing was supposed to be like, up until now, I kind of understand what's going on. Like, oh, okay, he sees a James Charles TikTok video and he's just gonna duet it as a joke. He's not being serious about anything. Whatever, you know, I understand up until now. So let's go ahead and take a little bit more of an in-depth look into this whole thing. And it kind of blows up. Keep in mind, he is 17 and straight. Okay, well, you're probably sitting there like, Optimus, okay, time out, brother. What does him being 17 and straight have to do with his TikTok blowing up? I don't really know. Really weird timing for him to mention this, but once we get a little bit deeper into everything, you're gonna see why he's trying to bring this up. And just to kind of, I guess, break the news, he doesn't really have a very solid point. Some of you can already probably see where this is going though, so... Okay, so a bunch of people commented on this entire thing, this little TikTok that he did, and they added James Charles in it, because I'm assuming that he did or said something that indicated that he was interested in James Charles. You know what I'm saying, right? Maybe I'm wrong about this, but that's what I would assume, personally. You probably are already starting to see where this is going to go now. Okay, so he wants to, like, I guess, publicize the DMs that he had with James Charles. Number one, we don't know 100% whether or not these DMs are real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could just all have been messed with or photoshopped, anything like that. I mean, it is a possibility that I think needs to be brought up. But assuming that these are real, he puts joking, by the way. But when you look at the DMs, nothing about what he's saying indicates whatsoever that this is all a joke. I mean, from James Charles's perspective, by what we can see here, this is probably what he hears and sees from fans literally every single day of his life, every single time he talks to fans. I mean, how is it joking to get DM'd by somebody famous like James Charles and then be like, I've been such a fan for so long, I'm so happy you responded, I'm literally shaking. And then you're gonna get weirded out when this guy who, up until this point, you've been like subtly hitting on each other, whether you want to admit that or not, you get mad when he wants to send you a DM back wanting to know more. Now, I know James Charles, like, gets all kinds of hate and everything. I know he's one of those people where it's like, it's kind of cool to make fun of him and things like that, but regardless of the situation, this is not right. it isn't right to do this to anyone whatsoever. I mean, at this point, like, you're dragging this situation out and on, and you're initiating and engaging all of these different kinds of conversations with somebody, and then getting weirded out, and then all of a sudden, you're joking. But yet, you weren't telling any fucking jokes in this chat. Like, you're not a very good comedian, bro. So that's the end of his little TikTok here, okay? And you'll realize soon that the reason that he said that he was 17 and straight is he's trying to get James Charles in trouble, and he's trying to get people to feel bad for him for something that he, I guess, engaged in perfectly fine himself. Notice how everything was a joke, but he never made it a joke. It's like one of those people in school who they would say something like really stupid or really embarrassing, right? And they would make this big deal out of something, and then when everyone was like, oh bro, that's stupid, or that's nasty, or you're weird, then all of a sudden they're like, bro, I swear I was just kidding, like, wasn't being serious about any of it. Like, I would never actually get into DMs with James Charles and hit on him. Like, I'm 17 and straight, bro. Another thing I want to point out is that there were DMs before this that he decided not to show, which to me, I think that that's kind of weird, right? Like, if you're trying to make a big point and you're trying to expose James Charles for not really doing anything wrong, like, let's keep it $1.50. We all got to get some, man. If your preference is a little different, that's fine. Not a big deal. Until this kid decides to make it a big deal. So I really want to wonder, though, what those DMs before show. I want to wonder what he said to James that kind of really, I guess, brought it down this path where James thought that he was flirting with him. Because in reality, it all, to this point, seems like James really didn't do anything wrong. But that isn't it, folks. This is not the end of the case, okay? We have a Super Saiyan Clout chaser here. I mean, let's be honest, he really just wanted to kind of drag James's name through the mud so he could, number one, make himself look like a victim, innocent, and everyone to kind of feel a little bit of sympathy for him or to, like, be on his side. And number two, at the expense of James, right? He was going to do this all and get James Charles in trouble, or try to. But it kind of backfired. Okay, well, here is his response TikTok, okay? He made a official response to this entire thing. Now let's go ahead and see what it has to say. Once again, I have to copyright the music because I have no idea what's going on with that, but when everyone thinks that you're an asshole for duetting James Charles and making your last TikTok, but you weren't at all trying to come across that way, and you just thought it was funny that a famous person was DMing you, but you didn't even think that he has to deal with it all the time. Frowny face. Okay, but that's not really what you were trying to do. I mean, if you really thought that it was just funny that a famous person was DMing you, but you didn't really think that he has to deal with it all the time, which I guess could be a common misconception that he doesn't deal with this all the time, you would have just straight up posted the DMs and been like, LMAO, James Charles DM'd me. This is the first time that a famous person has DM'd me on any social media. But that's not the vibe that you were attempting to give off with anything you were doing. You made it weird, man. You made it to where it was a situation where he wanted to hit on you. And you made it a situation as to where it was apparently creepy and weird, you know? Because of everything that you did, they gave the signals to him. That's why everyone thinks that you're an asshole, because you're out here trying to get somebody in trouble and get them canceled for hitting on an underage straight kid when, number one, you were completely complicit in the conversation, possibly even initiating it. Number two, you brought the entire thing towards yourself. Number three, you made him think that you were interested, so he continued to hit on you. And number four, you're just an asshole because now you're out here trying to manipulate people into being on your side once again. But let's go ahead and see what else he has to say, because I think this really breaks everything open here, guys. And you were just trying to get views and you didn't think it could hurt anybody, and now everyone's mad at you and you actually feel really bad but don't know what to do. He finally admitted it. There we go, man. It's very rare, guys, throughout all of my time watching clout chasers, that we see one of them openly admit to their behavior. Like, how often is it that we see these guys, or these girls, okay, let's be a little bit more fair here, jump out here and be like, I was just trying to get views with my antics. I was just trying to get people to pay attention to me. It's not often, but when it happens, it's very significant, because admitting what you're doing is the first step of getting over it, okay? You were just trying to get views, and you were just trying to get attention, and maybe you didn't think that it could hurt anybody, and now everyone really is just mad at you, and you made a mistake. But if that were the case, you would not be on here trying to manipulate people into being on your side, and And if you really didn't know that that was going to hurt anybody, you would not have weaponized it to try and hurt somebody. Once again, it's a lot different than just posting like, OMG James Charles DM'd me. And it's another thing to essentially make an entire TikTok where it's very obviously kind of weaponized to make this person look bad. That's not really doing the same thing. Like, you know what you did, you just don't want to say what you did. It's okay to admit that you were just looking for attention and clout and shit like that. Like, that's fine. Oh, maybe I just wanted some followers on my TikTok. But admitting to what you really did wrong here that could actually get somebody in trouble, no, you're not going to do that, right? That'd be too hard. So you don't really feel bad. You only feel bad because you were caught and people called you out for what you did. If this went a little bit differently and it really did make James Charles look bad and this kid good, there's no chance in hell that this kid apologizes, and there's no chance in hell that this kid comes out and says anything about it. He's going to put that TikTok out, get those views and those followers. James Charles is going to be messed up, right, by the community or whatever, and this kid is going to move on with his life. But just because people actually backfired against him for the way he acted, that's when he decided he was sorry, right? So you're sorry that you got caught, and you feel bad because you got caught, and you don't know what to do. Well, apparently he did know what to do, because shortly after this, he deleted his entire TikTok account, which I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to do. I think realistically, it's just a way to avoid him being dunked on by people for what he did, but maybe that's just me. I don't really know. So anyways, I guess the moral of this video is just don't be an asshole, okay? Don't do this. Don't lead people on in DMs and with what you're putting out there, and then when they actually reply to you with a very intimate response, then you basically put them on blast. Unless you're doing a simping experiment, then I think it might be a little bit more acceptable because at least you're doing it for science. But this is very obviously just done to weaponize something against another person. That's not very cool, regardless of who that person is, and regardless if it's cool to hate on them or not. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Make sure to check out shopopti.com down below, brand new merch just launched, and it's still on sale, guys, for the rest of today only, so go get some while you can. There's plenty to choose from. Also check out OpTube, lots of great things going on over there, and thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, weaponizing against people, and signing out.